Welcome to Byte Me, where we're squashing bugs one bite at a time. Today is chapter 4 of my mini Rust series, and we're going to be diving into a project called Who's Holding My Clipboard? Let's dive in. The bit is, the agency has exactly one clipboard. Whoever's holding it is legally responsible if today's client, a landlord who is also somehow a swamp, decides to sue. Your mission is to model the clipboard changing hands between two employees in a way that makes it obvious only one person can have it at a time. Then find a way for your manager to look at the clipboard without taking responsibility for it. All right, you have the steps. Pause the video here and come back for the solution. All right, so let's start. Step 1, create your main function. We're going to do function main. Step 2, create a string representing the clipboard, which is clipboard swamp-landlord case. So we're actually going to put this in main. Let's take this, put this over here. We do it let, so I'm going to call it swamp case equal, and this is going to be a string colon from, and we're going to put clipboard swamp landlord case within it. Oop. There we go. Perfect. Number 3, write a function that takes ownership of the clipboard, takes a string and returns a string to represent handing it off to a new employee. Okay, so this function is going to be function new employee. We're going to put as our parameter clipboard, which takes a string. We're also going to return a string. And within our function, we're just going to use clipboard as an expression, no semicolons. Step 4, call that function, passing the clipboard, and store the returned value in a new variable. All right, so we're calling our function new employee. That's how we call it. We're also going to put it into a variable. So I'm just going to name it the same thing as new employee. Then we're going to pass the variable swamp case in this function call. Swamp case. Step 5, try using the original clipboard variable after handing it off. Let the compiler error happen on purpose, read it, then comment the line back out. So we're going to put this in main as well. Oh, and make sure that you indent everything in main. So we're going to do a print line statement of the new employee as the clipboard. We're going to use our little placeholder brackets there. And we're actually going to use not this let statement that we just created, but the previous let statement, the original clipboard variable. We're doing this on purpose to see that it errors out within the compiler. All right, open up your terminal. Put in cargo run -- bin. This is chapter 4, so it's going to be ch_4. We're going to run that and see what error we get. It says over here that move occurs because swamp case has a string type, which does not implement the copy trait. So you can see here it says let new employee equal the new employee function, and we're putting in swamp case. It's telling us that we should clone the variable. Now, we're not going to clone the variable, but we're going to do something similar, and it's called a borrow. Number 6, write a second function that takes a reference to an ampersand string. Instead, a manager can check the clipboard without taking ownership of it. Okay, we're going to create a function. I'm going to call it manager check. So our parameter is going to be clipboard reference string, and we're going to return a string. Within our function, we're just going to put clipboard as an expression. Number 7, call that function and confirm you can still use the original variable afterward. I'm going to copy and paste this into main, and I'm going to put number 7 above number 4 because there's an order of operations when executing code in main. Oh, we forgot to comment that out. Okay, so let's call manager check function, and we're going to put that in a variable. So let manager check equal manager check function, and we're going to reference swamp case. Underneath that, we're going to do a print line statement so that we can see it in the terminal. Manager is checking the clipboard. And I'm just going to reference manager check. Open up your terminal. We're going to run it again. Do a cargo run. Although it says that our previous one, let new employee equal to new employee function, is not being used, it's just a warning, our other function has actually successfully ran. So manager is checking the clipboard, clipboard is swamp-landlord case. Perfect. Number 8, this is an optional one. It says write a function that takes a mutable reference, ampersand mute string, so that the manager could write a note on the clipboard without ever owning it. Okay, we're creating our function called manager note. This is going to take a parameter called clipboard, which is taking a mutable string. We just want the manager to put a note onto the clipboard, but not actually own the clipboard. So we're going to use our parameter clipboard, and we're going to put a push string, and we're going to put our note inside. Don't forget your semicolon. Then we're going to go back into main. The only way to make this compile correctly is we have to make the first variable mutable. So we're going to do a let mute swamp case. All right, and then I'm going to put it right under number 7 because we're not really utilizing number 4. Okay, so now we're going to be calling our manager note function. We're going to be putting an argument which is the mutable reference to swamp case. Then we're going to do a print line statement underneath it. We're going to utilize pretty print, and we are going to use that original variable swamp case. So what we're doing here is we are actually just appending the original variable, which we now have put as a mutable variable, so we can append it. Open up your terminal, do a cargo run --bin chapter 4, and you can see over here, manager is checking the clipboard, clipboard swamp case, and then we have clipboard swamp case manager note, proceed with caution. So our code has run cleanly. All right, this was chapter 4. Please join me in the next video for chapter 5.